I'm very happy to present the local team of the organizers and Anni Hartikainen, who has been involved in managing the small shipbuilding or small craft building cluster initiative here in Saaremaa, and she will of course share the experience of the cluster activities on a specific and more broader context. So Anni, please.
Hello everybody. As René said, my story will be about local boatyards René already shortly introduced, and about the things what would have never happened in the local boat building business without social networking, university acting as a mediator, cluster networking, triple helix models, and all the other popular words really working in real life. Well, about the history of Saaremaa's boatyards, we really have a very long history and traditions of boat building, going back for centuries. But the traditions were really cut off during the Soviet era. The boat building business was almost forbidden because Soviet Union's authorities somehow they were afraid that if we Estonians got the boat, we might escape to Sweden or sail straight towards Canada or something. But after the Soviet Union era, the sector recovered quite fast, and for 203, Kuressaare Regional Training Center started to train new boat builders because the sector needed it. There was a need for more workforce. And for 207, the situation was pretty much like the boatyards themselves knew that we have some great boat building going on here in Saaremaa. We know that we can make very great boats, products of high quality and very beautiful boats, but we have one common problem. Nobody dares to buy the boats because nobody really knows us. And we were seen like the region of former Soviet Union state or country. And well, the attitude was pretty much, well, what can you guys do there? Your boats are probably sinking the next minute we put them to water. We can buy those. And that was one of the biggest problems for the local boatyards. And of course, none of the boatyards themselves or alone couldn't rebuild the image of the region. So it really needed to be done. And there is one nice illustrative case how the situation was or how we were seen back then. There was a German guy who came here somewhere in 207, walked into one of our boatyards and said, well, hello, here I am. I came to see if your boatyard really existed. He had read about it from some German magazine, yachting magazine, and he really came here to see if the boatyard existed. And then the CEO of the boatyard said, yes, here we are. Come and watch how the boats are building, how we are building the boats here. And then the German guy said, oh, I see. But from where do you get the money and materials? Do Finnish companies give you the money? No, we have our own resources. We are building great boats. And this is how we were seen. And also, this was the point when universities started to act as a mediator, as Ari told us. In 208, local Kuressaare College conducted a survey about Estonian boatyards, which showed us the following picture. Oh, and of course, I forgot to mention, the boatyards had the common problem of being too small, of course, as every SMS have the common problem. But the boatyards are not just small here in Estonia, in Saaremaa, but they tend to be small in all over the world. So they have the problem that they don't have the power for marketing for R&D, for branding, and all those things. And for R&D, this is a funny thing about in the boat building sector, that the sector is so old that every Nokia has been already invented. Even flying boats have already been invented, but still you must have the R&D because it gives the market a sign that you have the boats of great quality and you have quality controlling going on, the boats will not sink. You have to have it, it's a must-have. All right, but now about the survey. These are the data of 207, and I have shown those slides for, I don't know, hundreds of times, maybe not hundreds. We really should update those, but in 207, the picture was that a bit more than a half of the labor hired in boatyards was located here in Saaremaa. About 60% of the boatyards turnover came here from Saaremaa, from our boatyards. But more than 80% of the sector's profit was coming from Saaremaa, which is interesting because it shows that for some reason the sector is more efficient here. And maybe Rene can tell us why is that, but somehow, for some reason, it showed like that. And also, what the survey revealed was that there was an urgent need for small craft engineering from the boatyards, because probably the sector has come to that phase of development when they needed their own engineers. And but today, there is a small craft engineer program going on in Kuressaare College, and this is also a nice case of networking because there is Estonian Maritime Academy and Tallinn University of Technology involved in this program. And also, we learned from the survey that in Saaremaa, from Saaremaa's industrial sector's turnover, about a quarter is coming from the boatyards. So the sector is rather important here for the local governments, which is not the case in Tallinn, of course, because there's so much going on. Everything else is in Tallinn. We've got boat building here, we might say. All right, but the bottom line, or the most important thing the survey gave us was a bit of a crazy idea that what we have here might be just a small little boat building cluster. Because for boat building, it is also important to mention that the sector is very connected to different side sectors. Because a boat is like a little house, all right? You need everything you need in the house, you also need in the boat, the curtains, the furniture. The side sectors, are very diverse. And that gives the sector more platform. And well, those pictures led us to common thinking actually, and from that survey arose a local cluster initiative. And this is the local cluster initiative picture, which is actually just another network. It is quite confusing slide, but the networks, I think, always are a bit confusing. Who is knowing who and who's talking to who? The common thinking from the boatyards brought us to common strategy. The boatyards formed a common strategy. The common strategy brought the boatyards to common marketing. Among other very important activities the boatyards are doing together, planning together, maybe the marketing is the most important, because how you sell a boat, you go to the boat shows, and this is quite expensive. Also, today the boatyards are participating in the international boat shows together, commonly, and by the support from the foundations, it makes it really cheaper, which I think Indrek would agree that this is innovation, that something is done in a cheaper way. And also, when coming back from the boat shows, the boatyards bring us quite interesting contacts for local governments and for university, and the network really works.